I mopped the flat today, and now the door's closed and the windows are closed because recording. So if there's a bit of time where I haven't spoken for quite a while, just make sure I haven't died from like bleach fumes.
Okay.
That's
This is a normal problem.
Hello and welcome to episode 79 of the MisanthroPod. I'm Snipe, and as always, I'm joined by Wib. Say hello.
Hello.
And I'm also joined by Drumblebum. Say hello.
Hello.
How are you, lovely gents?
I'm doing okay. How are you, Matt?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not sleeping, but it's all good.
Locked in a room full of bleach.
Well, yeah, currently. Hopefully not sleeping in here.
No, that would be very bad.
How are you, Snipe?
I'm okay. I'm not locked in a room of bleach or anything, so
Well,
I guess that's pretty good.
I had to close the window for the good audio quality, so...
Okay. So yeah, so here at the MisanthroPod, we prize your audio pleasure above our health. So maybe...
Or at least we prize your audio pleasure above Matt's health.
yeah.
Matthew might die, but that's a risk we, as people who are not him, are willing to take. So we got some general news to start off with. The new Codex Compliant will be live by the time you hear this.
Yay.
If you haven't already, please go watch it. It literally pays rent.
I mean, yeah.
It helps that people like it, because then we can eat. Yay! What I'm saying is we work hard for the money, and it would be nice if you enjoyed our stuff.
Yes.
I mean, presumably you already do. If you're listening to this...
I think the MisanthroPod gets a lot of hate listeners. They just sit there
people who are just willing
gritted...
to commit 2.5 hours every 2 weeks to just listening to people they fucking hate and want to die. That's the thing.
They just sit there gritting their teeth.
Yeah.
Like, just angry from the first bit to the last bit. I assume.
Well, who knows?
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, that's how I listen to it, so...
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's how we edit it, so, you know. we just assume that's how people listen to it as well, so.
Yeah. Another piece of quite exciting news is that we are playing a gig on June 23rd at the Maze.
In Nottingham.
Which we're totally prepared for, as usual.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing about being in a band. You're never prepared.
In fairness... We didn't, this was like a relatively short notice thing for saying that we haven't played a gig since last year.
Yeah, but it's a big deal because the Maze, we've played at the Maze in Nottingham a heck ton.
Yeah.
And...
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't even want to count.
Yeah, we've played there so many times. Our band has a lot of history with the Maze.
I reckon it's at least 50, I reckon.
I'd say that's
Probably.
about
Maybe?
right. Yeah.
It feels like it's something like maybe not quite that much, but it feels like a lot.
I'd say around 30 to 50 times. Over 10 years, that's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know how many times. I'd probably say 20 to 30.
Okay, yeah, maybe I was being
well,
a bit
what we're arguing
optimistic.
semantics.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so we're playing. There's going to be our delicious waifu band there as well, last edition, who are basically like us but good.
Yeah, that's a pretty accurate thing. There's also Riot for Disco, the Bread Chasers, the Stiff Joints, and Counting Coins. Playing. Basically, this is the final ska gig at the Maze because the Maze is shutting down, and they asked if we'd like to play.
Yeah, because the Maze is kind of like a bit of an institution. That's where you all play. Since the biggest venue in Derby shut down, basically. So then everything kind of moved over to the Maze in Nottingham.
Yeah, for a long time. Derby's been a bit
because the live music scene in Derby is a bit fucked, and Nottingham, however,
is a bit better.
So yeah, and we have details about that. Wib has tweeted about it. It's on the Facebook page for the Maze in Nottingham. I keep saying the Maze in Nottingham just so, it like drills its way into your skull.
But yeah, you can book tickets like online if you're interested in going. They are £8.25.
Including the booking fee.
So yeah, that's the thing.
If you want to come down and see some really good ska bands and us, it's Ska Sunday at the Maze in Nottingham.
On Sunday the 23rd of June.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. Looking forward to that. It's scary, because I haven't gigged in a while, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
That's the thing. We dust off the band like once a year at this point, so we basically never really know.
Also, this is a public call-out for Dicko, because every time someone asks where the band is from, he says Nottingham, despite the fact 2 out of fucking how many of there even are of us are there? I don't even know. There's only 2 out of the entirety of the band that are from even vaguely what you can consider Nottingham.
We have never at
We
any
have
point...
never been from Nottingham. We have always been Derby based, and he has never fucking introduced us as such. And he literally
he's
has
from
been
Derby and he's never lived in Nottingham.
Yeah.
I know.
I think the closest we have ever been to that is 2 of the members living in Nottinghamshire.
Out of the 6.
Yeah, not even fucking
Out of the
Nottingham.
6.
Out of 6, yeah. But no, like, so please, if you do come to the gig, tell Dicko that Fighting Evil is Cool is your favourite Derby-based band, because it will fucking... I need this. I'm so fucking fed up of being like, Nottingham, like, based ska band. It's like, fuck off. The thing is, I don't even care, like, about being considered from Nottingham. It's the fact that we aren't, and Dicko keeps deliberately saying that we're from Nottingham.
In fairness, I don't think he's actively done it that much. It's just when
he has.
It's when he wrote a bunch of things for the band a while ago. That's what everyone copies things from.
He was literally on stage. We were on stage, and he turned and was like, "Oh yeah, we're from Nottingham," and like literally, I remember Drama Matt, you and me shouting, "We're fucking not!" and him stopping and turning around and going, "Yeah, we are," and then us having an argument on stage because we were like, "We're not from Nottingham, Dicko," and he's like, "Yeah, we are." It's like, okay, who here's from Nottingham? And he kind of like vaguely points at Zoe, and it's like, yeah, no, okay, so there's 1 person out of 6, Dicko, who lives in Nottingham. Just saying. So yeah, next time, like, fucking, you ever meet Dicko, just say, dude, you're my favourite band based in Derby, because I need this. So yeah, it'd be really fun. Come see us. If you can, it'll be great.
Okay.
Anyway, continuing on with the video game podcast that we are now recording.
Yep. Drama Matt.
Hello.
You have to talk quickly before, you die of bleach inhalation, but what have you been up to in the past couple of weeks, apart from inhaling viscous chemicals?
That's only in the last half an hour or so.
Okay. But how's it going for you? Would you rate it out of 10?
It's fine.
It's just a washed floor, isn't it? So the amount of bleach could be greater.
Yeah, I'm not swimming in it.
No.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyway.
So I watched, following on from your advice, and I think we were going to do it anyway, but watched Tuca and Bertie.
Yes.
It is life-changingly good.
It is good,
It is very, very good. I would possibly say it's better than BoJack. I'm not sure. I think because there's only been 1 series of it, and BoJack kept getting better. Like, I can't say it's better as general because BoJack has 5 series of excellent stuff, whereas this only has 1. But yeah, I'm massively enjoying it. Or enjoyed. It's all gone now.
Yeah. You literally watched all of it and no one else can watch it now because your greedy eyes.
You watched it off Netflix.
Thanks, Drama Matt.
No, I highly recommend, if you haven't watched it after listening to Snipe's review of it last time, I can wholeheartedly endorse it as well. Go and watch it. It goes serious places, but it does it in a very nice way.
I think it does it really well.
Yeah, really, really well.
Like, there was that episode where they all get locked in the supermarket, which I thought was pretty good, but also fucking bizarre at the same time.
Yeah,
it discussed a lot of interesting kind of philosophical, like, debates about, what denotes sentient. Basically, it was Measure of a Man from TNG, but with sex bugs.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty good, yeah.
Fucking sex bugs. Literally, fucking sex bugs.
But it's very good. The theme tune is amazing as well.
It is,
because it consists of half of them just
weird.
saying their own name and the other half of them just making noises. And it's the best theme tune.
It is brilliant. And, the intro videos are pretty cool as well, because it's off the wall fucking banana weirdness.
A building with boobs. It's just like, that's fine.
It's like, literally, what else could you want? Nothing.
That's very good. I have also, the other thing I've been doing, which has taken up most of my time, but it won't take up any time any further, is I think I've finished Metal Gear Solid.
You think?
I think so I'm going to talk about it a bit, and there's going to be enough I'm not going to go into any plot detail really, but it will have vague spoilers.
This is Metal Gear Solid 5, by the way, for the people at home, in case you've not heard the last 5 episodes.
So it will have...
Of Metal Gear Solid.
yeah. It'll have vague spoilers for the structure of the plot and a few overall things, but hopefully nothing too specific. So apologies if you just skip forward a minute or two. Sorry. I feel like at this point, it's fine.
It's an old game, and I don't know if I'll ever play it because of my loyalty to the boss.
Yeah, fair.
I like that. Yeah. Moving on.
So, gameplay-wise, I really enjoyed it. It's really, really cool. The stealth stuff you can do and all the sneaks and things. It's
Have
really
you
good.
been pooped on by a horsey?
I did, after you told me to. I tried it out.
Oh, I forgot I told you to.
You
But
did.
yeah, it's pretty... Did it awaken something deep and forbidden within you?
It did not.
Is Ruth wandering around the flat in horseshoes,
Clopping,
whinnying? Well,
so yeah, gameplay wise, it is great, really good, really enjoyed it. It's a bit weird that it is only 2 maps and you have to go and replay the same things quite often, but fine, whatever. I guess they had to do that to make it more an open worldy thing rather than just a completely linear thing. But it's just. I know Metal Gear Solid's story has never been its strong suit.
Okay, I would violently disagree with you. It has always been the strong suit because it's so off the wall fucking bananas that you can't help but it's like Modern Warfare 2's storyline. The moment you think about
it, it's
fucking it did.
Yeah.
And that's all I was interested in. But yeah, the moment you think about it, it's just so fucking stupid and weird. But while you're playing it, it's this is really rich and making sense is a thing that this story does.
I'm going to be honest. I would not even remotely put Modern Warfare 2 and the Metal Gear Solid games even in the same bracket of story.
Okay, you're talking to someone who literally grew up with Metal Gear Solid, playing it every day, and as an idiot child.
No. You are going the exact opposite way because the Metal Gear Solid story is great fun. It's legit fun. It's stupid, but it's fun.
That's the thing. It's if you think about it, it's dumb.
And it's got a lot of
it's really fun, and the characters are really fucking good.
Yeah, it's got
even despite Kojima.
Yeah, it's got lots of levity and interesting bits in it. Whereas the Modern Warfare 2 story falls apart on a second playthrough. Whereas the Metal Gear Solid story only falls apart when you think about it.
Okay, so I was literally just comparing the fact that the moment you think about Modern Warfare 2's story is when it falls apart. Nothing else is even vaguely resembling Metal Gear.
Okay. I was just no, how dare you besmirch that game that I don't play?
I mean, both of those games I fucking adore.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. Apart from Metal Gear 4, that was a stupid story for twats.
Metal Gear 4 is Metal Gear 4 is the Metal Gear that is what everyone who mocks Metal Gear thinks it is.
Yeah. Where it's literally just 2 hours before you get to play anything, and then it's got really gross representations of basically people who were prisoners of war, horrifying torture victims. It's oh yeah, this sexy mama was forced to kill children. Look how hot she is, though. And she, like, makes sex noises when you shoot her. And if you crouch while, like, she's coming at you, she starts crawling along the floor like a porn actress. And you're like, Kojima, fuck you, dude.
I got a game to talk about later that makes that look tasteful.
Oh, Kojima's done another game.
Yeah, in his lunch break, by what I've done. But anyway, yeah. So Matt,
yes.
Metal Gear 5.
Yes. Anyway, so what I was saying. So you play through, and the story goes, and it's quite a nice rounded story, and it all finishes at an episode like I think they call the missions episodes for whatever reason, because they want to put Kojima's credits in the end of them all. I think.
Yeah.
And at the start of them all, and sometimes in the middle of them. Anyway, that's not the point. So you get up to like episode 31, and then it's a nice resolution to the story. And then it kind of just farts about a bit. There's like the game's still going, and you have the occasional just odd mission to do, like just missions that your base has been sent. Go do this mission for money, and you do a few of those, and it unlocks. There's like a couple of bits where it like tries to force you either have to replay earlier missions, but they're called a higher number, and they're like the extreme version or the harder difficulty version or whatever. But you either have to do those, or you have to go off and do a load of side missions to progress the story. And you're like, okay, right, you're forcing me to redo things. It's a bit weird. And then it just starts to get interesting again, and the story starts to actually progress rather than you just sort of aimlessly farting about. And then there isn't any more missions. And you're like,
would it surprise you to know that if I remember correctly, most of the end of the game was cut?
Yeah, it is. If you want to see the end of the game, there is the outline of what the last mission would have been on like the DVD extras of the PS4 Special Edition or something like niche, which luckily is on YouTube as well. So I've watched what the last mission would have been, so it kind of makes sense. But as far as you just playing the game, it just stops. But because before you have to arbitrarily do either replay some missions or play more side ops to unlock the next story mission, but it doesn't tell you how many. You just keep doing things until it does. Like, I was just playing like a load of side missions for ages, being like, okay, well, obviously there's another mission. And then I was just like, okay, this is I've done a lot of extra things. I've like nearly finished all the side missions. This is weird. And I looked it up, I was like, oh no, there's just no more missions. Just the game stopped now, I finished it. There just wasn't any, like... It's just like... But... Like, it would have been better, like, if they had to cut stuff, fine, budgets and getting cut, and it happens, but, like, cut it at the end of the actual, the big ending, because fuck all happens after that, basically. Like, nothing of consequence. So, like, why didn't they just finish the game at the actual finish, and then not put up the build-up to the next plot line, but then not finish it? It's so weird.
From what I remember, and citation needed, Konami basically had their big fallout.
I don't think you have to. You just say Konami, and that explains it.
They had their big fallout with Kojima towards the end of it, and they were going to have basically the ending as DLC. And then they had this big fallout with Kojima, and just nothing.
Did they release the ending as a pachinko machine?
Give them 10 years and they will. Man, fuck, I am still so fucking salty about that. Metal Gear 3 is like one of my favorite games of all time, and to see it like lovingly remade, like the fucking like Snake and the boss, and I'm just like,
wasn't that in the Fox engine as well?
That was in the Fox engine, and it was mind-blowing, and it's for a fucking gambling machine. Like, I hate to sound like a stereotypical fucking nerd rager, but, like, it really does fucking hurt, because you're like, God, I love this stuff so much, and to just be reminded of how much of a meaningless commodity and just to procure capital it is to like, Konami and, like, all these big fucking corporations is so miserably heartbreaking. Because, like, I love this thing so much, it's like... It's a really big part of my childhood, and that was a game I would play when I felt really bad and sad and alone. And it's just this big piece of shit company going, yeah, let's just fucking burn it to the ground and make a pachinko machine because we don't give a fuck about art.
I mean, I think that's actually Konami's corporate slogan. We don't give a shit about art.
Yeah.
Also, I think the other one is fuck you.
yeah, that's true. But I mean, a fucking 17 minutes in and I'm already on an anti-capitalist rant. Woo-hee! This is going great. Sorry, dude, you were talking about Metal Gear Solid 5. I started having flashbacks to fucking Pachinko.
Oh, it's alright. Yeah, so my overall thoughts for the game is that it is a good stealth game, but so much of the like bullshit that surrounds it, I enjoy playing it, but I'd find it really hard to recommend to anyone. I think is my overall thoughts. And I'm not saying it's bad, and the game, like I said, the gameplay is really good. But there's just enough of the other, and like so much of the story is told by you just have to sit and listen to these audio tapes, and you're like,
yeah,
it's just
that
like,
was a big complaint.
Can this not be like part of the story somehow? You just have to like sit in your like helicopter base thing, just listening to audio tapes. So I ended up just turning the volume up really loud on the computer and going off and like pottering around and doing chores around the house. But I was like, this is an audio book. This isn't a video game. Like,
I love it. The game rewards you with exposition by not fucking playing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it's like I just want to be playing this, but
I can think of.
Yeah, I'd rather be playing the game. But I'm interested enough about the story to like, because like, if you didn't listen to these audio tapes, you wouldn't have a clue what's going on story wise. Like, it's hard enough to follow along with who all the characters are, having not played a Metal Gear Solid game since the first one anyway.
Yeah.
Which, okay, maybe this game wasn't made for me, but also I feel like I shouldn't have to go back and play Metal Gear 4 to be able to appreciate anything else.
Oh, God, don't play Metal Gear 4.
So, no one has ever played Metal Gear 4 and appreciated anything other than not playing Metal Gear 4 afterwards.
Oh, God. Like,
that's a game that aged badly.
Terribly.
Very quickly. Oof.
But anyway, I've spoken about this for the last few episodes, and luckily that's everyone won't have to hear anymore. So
okay,
that's it. Drama Matt's deleting
Metal
Gear Solid 5.
Once I watched the YouTube video of what the last ending mission would be, I was like, you know what, I could sit and like play through some more side missions and do. You know what, I'm just gonna hit uninstall, just so I'm not tempted to like keep farting about with it. That I'm done with this now.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So as soon as I learned that, I just immediately uninstalled the game. Not quite a rage quit situation, because I had technically finished everything there, sort of like the story wise at least.
I guess more of an apathy on install.
Yeah, it really was, and I was like, if I might accidentally come back to play this more, and I would not like myself for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then that's basically me. I spent the last few days wanting to get into a new thing to talk about, and then I've not really been sleeping because of this bloody annoying cough I've had. So I was like, I can't be asked to start something new, so I've just been watching Critical Role and playing Euro Truck Simulator.
Mood! I've been watching so much Critical Role, but I'll get to that.
So yeah, also, unfortunately that's me done.
If you want a game to kind of like sink some time into, like a lot of time, I can recommend Divinity Original Sin 2.
Yep, it's on my wish list.
Cool. The thing is, because it's an indie game, it's really beneath like 20 quid.
Yeah,
but honestly, it is so fucking worth it.
Yeah. No, it is definitely on my list of things to play. I've just
and it's multiplayer. We could play it together.
Okay. I've just finished downloading Monster Hunter World. So
okay, that is good.
Shane has sent over, so thanks, Shane.
Oh, bless.
I think his mission is to make sure the entire world has played that game. I
think Shane has got it for us and Longfang as well. Actually,
yeah, he did.
I think that's his mission. So yeah, that's my next one to delve into, and I was hoping to be able to talk about it this time, but I've heard it's good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it is good. It's good. Really bad, over the top cheesy anime voice acting. There's literally an event on where you can play as Geralt from the Witcher series.
Ooh.
And you've got Geralt's voice actor delivering these really kind of gravelly, quite serious, like, okay, so the wounds on this carcass, it would appear that this is like maybe a pack of flying monsters. And then there's like the person who's talking to is like, by golly, Mr. Witcher, do you think? Oh, wow! And you're like, what the fuck? Oh,
does he just turn around and slap everyone?
I hope so, but I don't think he does. It's horrible. It's just like, Monster Hunter having voice acting like that is fine. Because everyone has a bit of an over-the-top anime kind of like the over-the-top anime acting.
It's a dub acting.
Yeah, and it's just, and that fits within the game. But you bring in like an actual like normal sounding human being, and it's just I think it points out just how fucking weird it is. And also, I'm sorry I left the tea bag in your tea. I thought you can have a snack after you finish your drink.
I just looked down into my tea and I'm like, why is there something in it? Oh god, it's a tea bag. Okay, I'm gonna go deal with that.
Yeah. Bye. Did I make you tea?
Yes.
Oh, oops, sorry. See, it's easy when you have like coffee, Because it's just literally just run. I don't know why you have to run at the end of drinking coffee.
Depends. Like if you're in France, you'll get kicked out of the country for making coffee with like that. Yeah, it's a whole process.
Well, if you have instant coffee, they'll kick you out.
Basically.
What? Well, I mean, if you get like bored of living there, just go into like a public space and make instant coffee.
Yeah, I think I'd just be like teleported out of the country.
Then that means that there's a way to get teleported in. So if I just stand in the middle of like Derby town and eat like really expensive cheese, and I don't know, throw baguettes at the English, would that teleport me to France? Because that would save on airfare, and my passport isn't renewed, so I can go visit you.
I'm not going to say yes for legal reasons, but...
Oh, okay.
You cannot condone this.
Okay. I have to also be wearing a beret and a striped shirt.
Yeah.
Should we maybe have some kind of segue back into where the podcast starts?
What? No, fuck you. This isn't what we're about.
Like I say, actually, I had a thought. The very last thing I have spent the last day or two doing is perving over the Gene Stealer cult models.
So good.
I know. I really when I come back and once I've finished painting up my tower, which is I think it's in various stages of nearly finished.
Most of your stuff was done.
Yeah.
Except for like your Vespids, because no humans ever painted a Vespid.
I don't think I have Vespids. I have Kroot that I haven't painted because I'm not going to use them. Although they might be good now too as well, but who knows? No, I do have my Vespid conversion idea, which I want to do.
Ah, yeah.
But perving on Games Workshop models aside, which I guess is probably just a standard, really.
I mean, that's just I guess you can take that as read.
So that's me. Hopefully, I'll have more next time. Wibbelit. What have you been up to?
Well, I have played some video games.
Ooh.
And they come in an interesting gradient of quality.
Okay.
So, would you like it going from good and then getting worse, or would you like it to start off terrible and then get better?
I always like to leave the worst till last because the worst is usually the funniest.
Okay. Well, in that case, I have been playing 3 video games, one of which is Frostpunk, which I've only played a little bit of so far.
I like the name, and I've heard very positive things about it.
So, I've basically had like 2 runs of it. So what Frostpunk is you are playing as the leader of a small group of people.
That's not very punk.
I guess not. Who is leading a group of people who are basically a group of people from London, and it's sort of in the kind of steampunky kind of setting.
Cool.
Where everything is frozen. Like, basically the world has started to freeze, and civilization has just crumbled because there's just nothing works anymore. And so you've basically all marched out to try and find somewhere to live, and you found this. You got to this generator, and you're basically trying to build the last city on Earth, basically, and you have to try and survive. Now, my first run of this ended with everyone starving to death and then kicking me out into the wilderness.
Well, okay.
Because the intro thing has like tutorials, but it has this really fun habit of telling you how to do stuff about 2 minutes after it became critical.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm currently doing a second run where
So it's actually pretty indicative of just any government.
Well, here's the thing. One of its big conceits is that as you're going, you every now and again you get the chance to enact a law. Now some of them are just like a basic thing, so like you can...
No pants on Sundays.
You really do have to wear pants. It gets down to like -40. So
ooh, okay. Well, I mean, mine like no pants can be a state of mind. So
okay,
and I wouldn't say it's a law, more of a suggestion. I'm not very good at being like a governing body.
Yeah, I got that. But some of them are fairly simple. So you'll say like, if you enable this law, then it allows you to basically make people work for 24 hours straight on emergency things.
Oof.
There's things like that you can do that are just straight ones.
What do you constitute an emergency?
Everyone's going to die.
Okay, but like I'm looking at it very cynically of like, well, it could be, oh, well, this company that is making money wants you to, and that's an emergency. Also, don't unionize.
Okay, yeah, I think the game exists on like 100 people, and capitalism has collapsed.
Oh,
so,
good. Okay. Okay, that's positive.
It's somewhat detached from those things. At least in the early game, I don't know how it works as it gets bigger, because you can enact different things. So, like an example is to deal with food shortages, you can enact one of two laws. One of which is basically something that this one, calling it a law is a bit overdone, but it's basically a choice that you have to make, is what the laws really are. And you can either, to make food go further, have it made into soup, which pisses people off because you've basically got a meter that's...
It'll piss me the fuck off.
Because you basically have 2 meters that are hope and, like, discontent. And if the hope goes down too low and the discontent gets too high...
discontent.
Yeah, you can get kicked out. It's... Yeah.
At least you can get
the other one
out.
Is where you mix in, like, sawdust with the food.
Oh, fuck.
Which makes it go further, but it pisses people off and they can get sick from it, so...
Yeah, I mean, well, that just reminds me of, like, during the war when they wanted strawberry jam and... rationing was in effect, so they just I can't remember what jam they made. It was like bramble jam or something, and they just put wood chips in it.
They made it out of like rhubarb and sugar.
Yeah, they just put like little wood chips in it and pretended it was strawberry seeds.
Yeah, blended it with little pips. Yeah. But yeah, so you have to make these decisions, and as you go through, and it's fucking brutal. Like the manner of the game, like a run that my initial run that went phenomenally badly, like. Because the game only told me how streets worked about 10 minutes after I unknowingly had created an issue where there wasn't a street where there should be.
Oh.
Because, like, the first row of streets is kind of like a free gimme, but then the next row you have to manually place. But you can't immediately tell that they're missing.
Oh, good.
And then the game told me about that, and I was like, "Oh, that's why my hunters haven't been going out because there was no street to the hunting shack. Oh, I have no food." And then it was just someone has died, someone has died, someone has died,
someone has died, someone has. I thought we were doing the Doctor Who theme. I got really into it. No. Okay. Yeah, that sounds a bit like Banished, honestly.
A
with
little,
how
actually.
like the brutalist kind of like, oh yeah, you don't realize at the time that maybe you've got like a bit of a deficit of food. And then that doesn't really make itself known until like the next season where everyone just starts dying.
It's Banished, but way more brutal and seemingly with more to it. Because Banished's biggest problem was that it was, once you got past its initial sort of shtick, it didn't have much to it. Great game.
Yeah, that's my biggest issue with Banished. It's really enjoyable, but once you hit a point, there's not much else to do.
There's nothing to do. There's no buildings that you can just spend resources on or anything.
But from what I've played so far, which isn't that much granted, but yeah, Frostpunk seems really, really good. So thank you to Little Mikey who gifted it to us. It's also the sort of game where I don't know if that's... I don't think we could make like a Snipe and Wood play out of it. It might work for a stream or something.
Game, yeah, maybe. I've seen a few people stream it.
So you might see us do something with that at some point, because it is good. The second game is one that I played on stream with Longfang.
For the Cooperative Thursday.
For Cooperative Thursday. Which is a game called Steep that was free on Uplay a little while ago. Yeah,
the biggest problem with that is that you have to... interact with Uplay.
That is a problem.
That's the price.
Now,
I'm afraid.
What Steep is a game where you go on snowboards, skis.
It's about snow sports.
And yeah, go down mountains, and you can have wingsuits or weird jetpack things to fly around. Like, there's all sorts of things you can do and different activities to go and do. And the physics engine's pretty decent for managing like how you're skiing and snowboarding around.
I like the footprints.
yeah, you need proper footprints and lines in the snow where your things have gone, and it's like it's a decent little game, and you can play it multiplayer, and everyone's kind of skiing around and on this huge area, but it has some slightly surreal problems that we found out when we were playing it on stream. Some of these are more fun than others, but yeah, the game has a few problems that became apparent when we started to stream. Some are funnier than others. One of which is that if you equip a wingsuit and you push forward, then you will just jump straight forward horizontally, and so just faceplant the floor instantly. And just make a snow angel, basically.
That sounds pretty amazing. That's the opposite of a problem, honestly.
What you're supposed to do is walk to the edge of a cliff, put the wingsuit on, and then dive.
Yeah, but that's boring. I want to literally just put, an $800 wingsuit on and just immediately faceplant into a pile of snow.
Yeah.
Because that's something I would actually do.
The challenges that are in the game also have an issue that's sort of similar, which is because quite a lot of the challenges you're not going to do in one go. You have to repeatedly try to be able to beat them, because it'll be a time thing, or try and beat this medal, and especially if you're playing with someone else cooperatively. Well, not cooperatively, because it's just you're just kind of in there together. But it'll compare your time. So if you're trying to beat each other's time, then you'll be repeating it. The problem is if two people, and that doesn't have to be the same two people from your group, it can be anyone who's on that at the same time. It's possible to spawn inside them and be instantly thrown off your board or whatever, thus
just like real life,
ruining your run in seconds. And the other thing is that there's basically no structure to the damn game. So you kind of pop in and it's like, hey, go shred some gnarly lines on fucking mountain. It's not actually that bad.
Go carve some powder, bro.
It's actually not that bad at all.
You see, I thought it was literally just a game where Red Bull is being advertised at you, and then occasionally you get to ski.
I mean, that is broadly accurate also.
That's one of my biggest complaints with sports games.
The incessant advertising.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
It can be pretty egregious in some of them. This one is not that bad, but it has its fucking moments.
So when you and Longfang were streaming this, I was on the couch painting, and I just remember very vividly hearing, "So, I'm jumping out of a Red Bull helicopter after I've just shotgunned an entire Red Bull. Fuck you!" I was like, oh, that's going well.
Yeah, that was a particularly egregious scene of product placement. But the way the whole game works is you just go from event to event, beat each event, and then by beating events you unlock more events, but the better events are just sort of
the same thing,
the same kind of thing. So it's you unlock more outfits for your guys, but that's about it.
It feels like this is not a game you should pay for. I think free is a decent price for it. Because if it's just, how would you feel? Would you feel slighted if you paid full retail price for this?
Very much so, yes. Yeah, because there wasn't really much to it. We played it for 3 hours on stream, so it's not like the core gameplay wasn't bad. It's kind of fun to just ski around and
provided you have someone to play with.
I don't know. I think you'd probably have some fun on your own doing it, just kind of dicking around with it. But there's so little structure to it that you just get to a point where you go, why am I doing this? I know I'm gaining points to do this, but I've not had a good reason to explain why I should do this. Although it is funny.
So you can buy more Red Bulls.
Well, every now and again, it's the writing team that was on the game got angry that they had no work to do, so they'd write a monologue from the perspective of a mountain, and then they get a voice actor to enact that, and then there's a mission where you have to ski close behind someone because it's like a film, and then the monologue will play. So it's basically like those missions in Grand Theft Auto where you have to keep close to someone who's driving away, except unlike the Grand Theft Auto ones that are fucking finicky and annoying
and tedious,
this is one where you can get so far away from the person that it completely nullifies any point in it being a challenge. The only way to fail it is to slam into a tree so hard your character gets KO'd. That's pretty much the only way to fail those.
So if I'm thinking of this correctly, it's literally like a chase mission from GTA that sucks. And you're just like... So there you are on the mountain, and you hear a voice going... And then we go forward like a breath exhaled from the earth. And then you spawn inside someone and get flung 400 feet to the left.
I mean, you're kind of compacting a lot of different experiences within the game. But, I think that's actually a pretty valid... it's a vertical slice of what you would encounter.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, okay.
What I will... to finish up to say about Steep, it is a game that when we finished playing it for the stream, I had fun playing it. I did not dislike the game, but I did instantly uninstall it the moment we finished.
Okay.
So that's my review. It's not bad, but I did uninstall it the moment I stopped playing. You can put that on the box if you like, Ubisoft.
Yes. Yeah, that's good.
However, that was a work of art compared to the last game that I played.
Okay, we've gotten to terrible now. Okay, everyone brace yourselves.
So the very last game I played was something that was sent to us by our good friend Dicko.
Yeah, he was from Derby.
Yeah, he's from Derby.
He's in that Derby-based ska band.
It's fine, let it go. The game in question is Hentai Shooter 3D.
I'm out.
Yeah, he sent me that ages ago and I've just refused to install it.
So, I'd just like to walk you through the experience of playing Hentai Shooter 3D.
Okay, I can see that I can presume that your dick is still attached, so I'm guessing it's not that good.
Well, I think actually my penis did the opposite of become erect.
You have an innie.
It became somehow more flaccid.
Okay, it reminds me of a joke we used to have where, when something was really good, you'd go, wow, that was so good, I came. And then if something was really bad, you'd go, wow, that was so bad, I went.
Yeah.
So did you went?
I went, yes.
Oh, no.
So, the experience of playing the game, you boot it up, and you encounter a menu screen that I think calls it 3D Hentai Shooter, so it's like the Noah's Ark 3D thing, where the
but
name
somehow way less
the
sexy.
name is slightly different for some reason. And the menu has no words on it, so it's all symbols to just, to say what you're supposed to do. It's for the most part understandable. But also it has JPEG artifacting that is on par with... Like, you remember Flash games from before Flash could store JPEGs very well?
Yes.
Yeah, we're talking that sort of level.
Fucking hell.
Then you start up the game and you see the controls and you go, oh shit, this has no mouse control. This controls like Doom before you could use a mouse.
Before mouse inputs. Oh, yeah. God.
Wow. Okay.
So it's a 2.5D game, very, very basic looking. You walk around your house for a little bit. And then you find a pickle,
right?
Which the main character makes some noises about.
What do they say anything, or is it just like sex noises?
Sex noises.
Right.
Honestly, when he picked up the pickle and he started making weird noises, I was like, if this is a pickle Rick joke he's leading up to, I'm literally uninstalling the game now.
I would burn the hard drive.
But it wasn't. So at least there was that. Now, you then go through a portal and you end up in the world of... it's basically a world where hot women are trying to kill him for reasons.
Because he's the protagonist in Hentai Shooter.
Now, initially, all the pickle does is that's your weapon and you hit people with it.
Okay.
So, you encounter...
So you basically pickle swafellen them?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you going to explain what that means?
Swafellen is a Dutch word which means to repeatedly, smack, not in a violent way, just kind of repeatedly tap your penis on something.
Yes.
Oh.
It's a phenomenal word. I love the Dutch people for having a word for that. It's phenomenal.
So you encounter your first lady, who is significantly taller than you, and is in a bikini.
Hey, some people like that.
And fires projectiles at you. every time they fire, they make a sex noise.
So it's like,
yeah, and
great. That's just how I want.
The location that they fire from is the crotch.
Good.
So they're basically ping pong balling you.
Yeah, so you run up to her, and because they're so much taller than you, you basically slap this woman violently about the crotch with a pickle whilst she makes the same sex noise over and over again because they take way too many hits to kill, and then has a big fucking cum and then just sits on the ground.
See, I'm imagining these just literally slices of JPEGs. They're not even there's no transparency or anything. So
it's
a
not
plain
quite that
white
bad.
background.
And then you end up with you upgrade your weapon with a tomato. So then you fire a tomato at the ladies, and then repeat that because that's the game. You go and just violently assault women with vegetables.
Just throwing vegetables at women
whilst they make wholly uncomfortable noises at you. It's a thing that exists. It is not very good, but it only would cost you, if you wish to buy it right now, because the sale's on, 39 English pence.
You see, that's a lot of money, considering that I guarantee you that person has stolen artwork from everywhere.
I do not believe they have, actually. I believe it has been either commissioned or drawn specifically for it. And I say this because you can also both buy an uncensored version of the game and get high-res PNGs of the ladies in question.
You see, what I do when I want to find pornography is not spend money on garbage on Steam and just go and Google pornography.
Do you want to know the funny thing, actually? Is that the...
Yeah, tell me the funny thing.
The uncensored version on the Steam store has censored bars over everything. But then if you just go to the uncensored art, quote-unquote, art book, you can just see them. So I've seen a third of the book.
So I'm gonna ask, the uncensored image or the actual images of the sexy ladies, if you judge them on their own as sexy pictures, how would you rate them out of 10?
They're not great.
Not great? You don't find them very erotic?
No, I do not. Also, I especially don't find it erotic since I'm supposed to be beating them half to death with a pickle.
Yeah, that's fair. But it's okay because they make that one anime sex noise.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
I mean, to be fair, I'm thinking thematically, hentai is so fucking weird anyway.
It has a lot of peculiar quirks.
I've shown you fucking weird pictures. There was that one where some guy literally grabs a woman's stomach and yanks her ovaries out and starts massaging them.
Oh yeah.
There was that hentai is where the understanding of anatomy goes to fucking die. There was another picture as well that I sent to our friend group. Drama Matt, you were very lucky that I didn't send this to you because I was like, Ash and Sarah have kids, so I don't want to send this to group chat. There was some girl cowgirling this guy, and she reaches down, shoves her hand up her own butthole, and starts jerking him off from her own ass. Internally.
Right.
So when you tell me that Hentai Shooter 3D is just throw vegetables at women until they fucking collapse, I am disappointed in how fucking tame and garbage
Well, that's
that
the thing,
sounds.
it's on Steam, so there's a very hard limit as to how graphic it can be. So if you're playing the uncensored version, like the coward that I am, then it's really just a very bad 2.5D shooter.
Okay.
However, there is a sequel and a Christmas special, so maybe the formula has changed.
Why
it hasn't.
is there a
I looked.
sequel?
Because people want to fucking ruin my day.
It's just, in fairness, let's be straight up. It's just one guy making this shit, and you know what? I've not made a video game that costs money, so...
Yeah, but I also
True.
will argue the point that this is a professionally, this is a product that is available for purchase, so it is not above criticism.
Oh, yeah, of course not.
But then again, you're going into Hentai Shooter 3D, so...
Well, I think that's it.
If you haven't gotten that maybe it's not... a fully developed game there, then I guess that plays to your naivety.
Do you want to know the funny thing?
No.
Is that there was one of two games there that I was going to play. And I was of a game that I was like, this is something we probably wouldn't ever do anything for a video, so I'll try and get through some of the backlog. My choice was to play either Hentai Shooter 3D or Hatred.
Okay, so
I think I made the right choice.
Hentai Shooter 3D over Hatred any day, because Hatred is just fucking eye-rolling garbage.
But yes, so my three games are Frostpunk, that was quite good, Steep, that was mediocre, and a Hentai Shooter 3D that was terrible. So a gradient of video games. Also a pretty big gradient of fucking, money there as well.
Yeah, there's you've got the whole,
one's
kind
like
of budget.
One...
Wow, dude.
One's like a Ubisoft-funded, kind of game. One's kind of a well-made indie game, and one's some weirdo in his, fucking bedroom.
Honestly, yeah, it's like, I've never understood, that kind of thing. I mean, if people, I'm not sitting there going, if you like games that have nudie elements, I'm not saying that if you like those, there's something weird with you, or I'm not shaming you, and I'm not calling you an idiot or anything. I don't understand that, personally. It's like, because if you want to go look at sexy anime girls, there's literally billions of terabytes devoted to that online that you can just look at. And then you could just, what you can do, I tell you what, is play Doom, and every time you kill a monster, pause it, and just look at a sexy anime titty.
You could.
Because, I get, say, a porn game where, say, it's a visual novel, and you can kind of, you can forge relationships with people and eventually, do the fuck with them. I get that. But when it's just, you're basic, 2.5D throwing tomatoes at static JPEGs, it's like, why...
That's the other thing, because it's so low res, it's very heavily pixelated porn too. Which is...
So it's proper hentai then?
I understand what you're saying there. I got no issue with porn games.
Honestly, I think there should be more, and I think people should take them a bit more seriously, because there is a market there.
Oh yeah, the part that I just always kind of confuses me is porn elements hastily slopped over existing kind of game genres.
Yeah.
So it's it's a 2.5D shooter, but with tits. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like...
Duke Nukem already did that, you know that,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess Hentai Shooter 3D does a way better at, being respectful.
It absolutely does not.
Than Duke Nukem 3D. Yeah, I'd say that's a close one for me from what
I'm just going to say, in Duke Nukem 3D, you don't assault ladies' crotches with vegetables.
Okay, that's fair. Now that's the title of the podcast right there.
Wildly slapping a courgette about someone's nether regions.
I'm going to say, the choice of vegetables is not good, because that kind of stuff can lead to all sorts of horrible kind of, problems down there for basically any gender.
Yeah, you shouldn't use fruit.
You shouldn't use fruit, no. That's the whole, I know it's a meme, but flare base. Let's go for that. If you're gonna do a fuck or a sex toy responsibly. Come on.
Just don't go and find a cucumber.
No, don't do that, because it's not good. It's there was
I feel like we've got somewhat off the beaten path here.
I have to talk about banana deep throating though.
Okay, you know what? I'm just going to ask you what you've been doing.
Banana deep throating.
You have not?
No, I have not.
Because you don't like bananas, so we don't have them in the flat.
I fucking hate bananas. They're disgusting. I refuse to be within 30 feet of a banana.
Exactly. And the flat's probably about 30 feet at its widest points, so a banana physically cannot be in the flat.
God won't let it.
God will not let it.
Yeah. So I've been doing a few things. Honestly, mental health wise, it's been a really rough month for me. So I haven't really been in the place for trying new things. I have, however, been kind of knuckling down with Critical Role, and that has been just a fucking joy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm up to episode 27 or 8.
Okay, of the second campaign.
Of the second campaign. I haven't listened to the first one. I'm going for the second one. And I have sobbed my fucking heart out. I'm not going to spoil anything. I've sobbed my heart out. Happy tears. Really upset tears. I've laughed my fucking arse off. I felt fucking angry. Because the story dictates it. I'm not angry at anyone. But, like, it is just... That's why I play D&D. And it is so amazing. It's so awesome to see them, like, these group of, like, nerdy friends just have fun. Because that's why I love D&D so much. And that's a really nice... It's a really comforting, kind of warm feeling. Just to see other people play D&D as well. And, like, especially because they're all fucking voice actors, so they're all really good at acting and like, kind of getting their characters, like actual, like, realizing their characters and whatnot. And Matt Mercer is just, he's not human. He's so good at that stuff. It's just like, what?
Can I make a small interjection?
Yes.
So, a while ago, someone asked in a question of who everyone's, like, favourite Critical Role characters were.
Yes.
I basically said I don't know because I have never seen.
But you've been absorbing a lot of it because I've been having it on a lot.
Because you've been watching it so much, I have seen enough of it that I can now say that from at least the second campaign that you've been listening to, my favourite characters would be either Not or Jester, depending on who spoke last.
They are amazing, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love them a lot. They're very good. But I love all of them so much. And
I've seen just enough to develop that much of an opinion.
But yeah, I'm about an hour into the live one that they did, which is really weird. Also, Sam Riegel's costume for that is fucking on point.
You have described it to me, and I feel like I need to go and look at it.
I'll describe it again for people who might not know. So it's I can't remember which convention it's at, but you know, they all come out. They're introduced one by one. Sam Riegel is the second last to come out. He comes out on rollerblades, which he's very good at, by the way.
Oh, I think he's good at everything. I think
you're right.
Yeah.
And so he comes out like a fucking like badass in like this hot pink PVC leotard, long sleeves, high crotch.
Yep.
And he's got like on the sides of his face, he's like painted like a butterfly, kind of like colourful lines.
Right.
And this pink PVC leotard has got these huge spiky padded shoulders. And he comes out and he's just like rolling around, and he's also got, you know, those push lamps that you can put batteries in?
Yeah.
He's got one of those in his crotch.
Good.
So he's got like this glowing crotch, he's dressed in that amazing leotard, face painted up to the nines, and on rollerblades. And he just comes out and is amazing. And then like Matt Mercer comes out, because he's the last one to be introduced, and he's kind of like, fuck, it's me, the poor bastard who had to come out after Sam Riegel.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he had to top his costume from the year before, because I think the year before, or at least the live episode that I saw of in I think this is in the previous campaign, he comes out in like a yellow skin tight morph suit onesie thing.
That sounds amazing.
With like, because they always joke that he's got like a cube dick or something, so he just had like a box stuffed under the like skin suit, so it looked like he had this giant cube.
I see it. That's pretty gorgeous. But yeah, I've just shown Wib the pink costume. What do you think, Wib?
That's a look.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Go on, send it through on the Skype for me as well.
Okay.
We need a live reaction to
Sam Riegel just being an absolute fashion
just
powerhouse.
Emmy award-winning Sam Riegel.
Emmy award-winning
I feel like
Sam
we should point
Riegel.
out. Wow, that
isn't he glorious?
That's amazing. I love that.
Oh, Sam Riegel. What an absolute fucking boss.
I feel Emmy Award-winning Sam Riegel should probably be the name of this episode. Just that image.
If I can be half as funny as Sam Riegel, I can die happy. And I don't think I'll
like
die
a quarter
happy.
as talented.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
But yeah, I have been
cool.
thoroughly enjoying that. You're right.
Not sure I am.
Is it just like Emmy Award winning Sam Riegel is haunting your dreams now?
Yeah.
In the best way.
In the best way.
Yeah. But yeah, and I'm a couple of hours into the live one, and again, I'm just thoroughly enjoying it. I'm basically having it on a lot of the time when I'm playing games or whatever, and it's just been a joy, honestly. And yeah, like every time, like when I'm going to the gym, I'm listening to it. So even at full volume, I can hear those really annoying gym bros, like screaming and like roaring as they lift weights.
Good.
I'm not going to get into that, but it does kind of boggle my mind a bit. But yeah. So I've been having that on while I've been playing things like Darkest Dungeon.
Yes.
Segue.
You've been playing that a lot again, haven't you?
I have, yeah. We played it for a stream last week, and I've just been looking for an idle kind of game, like one of those games I've been looking for a podcast game, basically, so I could listen to Critical Role more. And I've installed a few mods because, honestly, I think the difficulty in that is not fun for me.
There are certain points at which Darkest Dungeon hits a difficulty point that...
It's just unfun.
Unless the difficulty is what you find fun about the game.
Well, the thing is, I don't mind a challenge, but it's like, the first time I ever played it, and this was without any mods, apart from, I think I had some texture mods, so I could have different, like, an increased colour palette for my heroes.
Yeah.
Like, there's a guy called Wolf or whatever. It's like an invasion event where this guy comes in and invades the hamlet. And I only had like 3 level 6s, which is max level. So I sent them in. Every single one of them died so easily, even though I had like that was literally the best I could do. And I just stopped playing because I was like, it took me hours and hours and hours to get those people to that level. And and they've all gone immediately. And it's like, you can very rarely resurrect someone from your graveyard.
Yeah.
But that's like a really rare town event. And like, I was just like, this is so unfun. I'm dreading this. I don't want to play anymore. So I just stopped playing it. And I've installed a bunch of mods that have made it a bit easier, and to the point where it's manageable.
Yeah.
Whereas before, for me, it was unfair, and once you get to unfair territory, I don't fucking care, and I'm so fucking... Yeah. I'm emotionally exhausted, and I don't care.
Like, I've been thinking about this, because I had a very, very similar experience with Darkest Dungeon, which is, I think, the thing that really separates it from a lot of other games that you could compare to it, like roguelike sort of games, like Binding of Isaacs and the like, is that a run on the Binding of Isaac that you get a bunch of shit like that is really unfair on, like just some shit drops.
The RNG is not nice
RNG
to you.
doesn't please you. Even if that happens right at the end, like the longest time you're probably going to have like lost is like half an hour, because each run is its own thing. Whereas Darkest Dungeon, because you're running with like a full group,
it's like there's a lot of grind there.
Yeah, you have to grind things out for individual characters if you want to get them to be tough enough to deal with certain things. So you end up with this situation where, you know, you kind of get attached to these characters, and then you can encounter a situation where they just die and you basically didn't really have any warning, and because you've got so much more investment in it, it can be really disheartening.
It can like, exactly. It just kind of sapped all my energy. And I'm like, I understand that it is the contention, the point of it is that it's a hard game. And like permadeath is a thing. I understand, before anyone starts getting cranky and me going, well, what game do you think you were playing? But the point of the matter is that, yeah, you get to that point and then I basically hit a brick wall because my characters weren't strong enough. And if you ignore that, at least I don't know if you could ignore it at the time, because like there's been a lot of changes since I last played it, where when I first played it, it was quite early on in its release, where if you had a level 3 or plus character, they wouldn't go and do a low level quest. They just wouldn't do it. Or like certain characters, like there's like certain religious characters who wouldn't go into a dungeon with, say, an abomination or something like that. So there was a lot of like well, I can't send these characters together because the game forbids it. It was a lot more trickier and nuanced. So it was like, I got all my best characters that I'd really poured a lot of time, effort, and energy into, wiped out in an instant. And I was like, well, I'm that level appropriate. I don't expect to just breeze through it, but I literally basically got fucking insta-killed. And it was like, this isn't fun.
Yeah, I remember encountering the boss you're talking about, and the difficulty increase.
It was shocking.
Because when I encountered it, I'd been getting through bosses and things actually all right. And then I got to this one encounter and just got my party completely decimated. Like, wasn't even close. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With my mods and stuff, you still lose people.
Yeah.
It's just, I feel it's a lot more fair.
Yeah.
So, like, I've lost a few characters already, but it's like, I sit there and go, well, that was unlucky, and I don't feel like I was robbed. Because that was the big thing, like, basically, in the first time I played, was I felt like I'd been cheated.
Yeah.
Because the difficulty was such a fucking high spike. Whereas now I'm like, no, with this mod, it's a lot more fair. And it's still tricky, you've got to think about things, which I don't mind. I don't want to just breeze through. And it's been so much more enjoyable. And I can listen to Critical Role while I play, so I'm super okay with it. But yeah, that's an older game. So yeah, I've been enjoying that. Played a little bit of The Sims 4 because that was free, the base game. Like EA going, come and play The Sims 4, where 90% of the actual content is blocked off behind microtransactions and expansion packs. Wink, wink.
Oh, there are so many expansion packs for The Sims 4, it's absurd.
It's gross. Like, honestly, EA, just fuck EA anyway. I think, like, it's not a controversial statement.
No, it is not.
So, yeah, I'm just going to mod it to heck anyway, and I only ever buy stuff for The Sims when it's on, like, an outrageous, like, bit of discount.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way to do it. And I was actually quite surprised. So, Sims 3, I've played a lot of that, because Sims 2 won't work on my machine anymore. If it ever worked at all, because The Sims has never been well optimized.
Yeah.
And honestly, playing The Sims 4, it booted up pretty much straight away. Whereas with The Sims 3, you have to wait for fucking ever. I've got a good machine, so it's like...
The thing is, The Sims 3 was...
there's like a memory leak in it, so the longer you play it, the laggier and more broken it gets.
The Sims 3 is a game that, like, architecturally speaking, is a fucking mess.
It is.
Like, no part, like, it just has about 8 different ways it can break on any given day.
Yeah. But, like, I've played just a little bit of it, and honestly, there's, like, new kind of moods, which I'm going to get my head around it eventually, but, like, for now, I'm just a bit overwhelmed. And you still have your needs and everything, and I made a sim, and I was really pleasantly surprised. So, you can pick male or female, and then you can pick nuances to that. So I say you pick a male sim, and then there's like a drop down and it goes, do they have a masculine or feminine frame? And I'm like, oh, so I can have a feminine looking male sim. I'm like, okay. You can also decide if that sim, regardless of like gender, can get sims pregnant, become pregnant, or neither. And whether they use the toilet standing or sitting, regardless of gender. And I was like, this is awesome. I was so, like, taken aback by it. I mean, I am going to be like, well, there was no, there was only male and female. There should have been, like, another, like non-binary kind of... that. Maybe in The Sims 6, that would be really nice to see. But, like, I think that's a really positive start. And I'm like...
Yeah.
I'm so into that. I was like... oh, wow, no. Even for a big evil fucking company like EA, this is a really positive thing.
Yeah.
I was super hyped about it.
Especially because, people quite often make themselves in The Sims, so,
Well, it's just really, I just really think that's cool. You could also choose their walk cycle. So you can have, like, like vampires in The Sims 2 and 3.
Yeah.
How they walk, like... So, you know, like Count Orlok from Nosferatu?
Yeah.
You can kind of have them walking like that. Like, they'll just walk down the street like that. And I'm like, that's great.
As you do.
So, yeah, like, and the design is cool. You can also pick what clothing your sim prefers. So if they prefer more typically masculine or feminine clothing. And I'm like, that's really cool. So, yeah, I'm going to be playing more of that, obviously. Because it's The Sims, and that's something I can never fucking escape. But no, I just wanted to say, yes, it is my curse. But no, it's like I just wanted to mention it because that was just such a nice thing to see. Like it genuinely gave me the happy tummy feelings.
I don't think I ever heard anything about that when it was launched either.
No.
Maybe that's something that's come in through add-on packs.
Well, if you didn't hear that it was literally ruining the gaming industry, then I guess no one really noticed.
Yeah, but The Sims operates in its own weird bubble, so. So, like, things that happen with The Sims don't really get widely mentioned a lot of the time.
Yeah, but, like, I mean, again, I'm credit where credit's due. That was awesome to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've seen a couple of things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm watching Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, okay.
Which is, like, 20 years old.
Yeah.
I'm finally getting around to it.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that. I've seen like 2 episodes of it. I'm like, yeah, I should really watch it.
We've got Crunchyroll for like a month, so...
Oh yeah, we got a free month from something, didn't we?
Yeah, from Twitch, because we keep forgetting to cancel Amazon Prime. So we're like, fuck it, might as well get 30 days free of Crunchyroll.
I'm basically just keeping it around until Good Omens comes out so I can watch it.
Yeah, that's fair, But yeah, no, like, it's weirdly paced. I think it's just because it's old. So it's older, but like no, I'm enjoying that so far, and it is weird to see a dog be drawn like a dog in anime. Because like I'm used to like Sailor Moon's like fucking cat, where it's got like huge anime eyes, and it's like
very cartoonish.
Very cartoony. But no, this one is like it's just an actual corgi.
Ayn, isn't it? The dog's
Ayn,
name.
yeah. I showed Wib a part at the start of an episode where. There's a character who's like goes to get something out the fridge to eat, and there's just a can of dog food, and she looks over and there's Ayn, the doggo, sitting there with an empty bowl, being like whining and being like boof bork, and then like, you know, with their tongue out, just like looking hopeful, and she's like, "Ah." So she takes out the can, she opens it up, and like, well, the dog's like staring really hopefully, and then she starts eating his dog food, and just the dog stops in the way that. It's like it's obviously being animated, and it's like it's panting because it's got his tongue hanging out, and then it just stops, and it was the most perfect portrayal of dog shock I've ever seen, where it just like what, and then she's like, "If you want to eat, you've got to earn it. So like, go find your own food, you jerk," and just wanders off, and the dog's like, "Motherfucker, what?" It was honestly, I'm not doing it justice. It was very like, if I could like. If I had visual, I could do it, but yeah.
You could, but this
I
is
don't.
unfortunately a non-visual medium.
I know, fucking kicks my ass. But yeah, no, there's like some funny jokes, there's some good like emotional parts. It's I still find it weird. I don't know why. It's kind of strange to me in a weird way.
It is of a very certain time when it's.
Yeah, I think that's
what
what
little
gets
I've
me.
seen of it. It's got a very different tone to nearly every modern anime.
There's a
which
lot
I
of,
think is
yeah.
You know,
there's not a lot of incidental music. A lot of it's very quiet. So there'll be like just two people talking, and it'll be quiet, apart from say like the hum of like a refrigerator or something. And it's like that's very poignant to me because I'm not used to silence, basically. Especially in like it's kind of an action anime in a weird way, and it has so many quiet moments that I guess that does kind of comparatively make the louder parts a lot more noticeable, or like I'm having trouble. I'm tripping over myself, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I think it is. I mean, it's old and it's generally made for a slightly more mature audience.
So I don't know what the fuck I'm watching.
So it does have a very unique kind of tone to it, as well as being of a certain time.
Yeah,
so
there's a lot, and you know, it's ticking a lot of boxes. So, but no, I'm going to keep up with that because I am enjoying it. And the last thing I've seen is Detective Pikachu.
Yes, we both went to go
Nice.
see Detective Pikachu.
We did go to see Detective Pikachu, and there was only 3 of us in the theater.
Yeah.
There was like one other guy in there who... Oh no, there was 2 other guys in there, and one of them left halfway through.
Really?
Yeah. It's like,
Wow.
I didn't get to see Mr. Mime's dick, I'm fucking leaving, yeah? Like, alright, Carl, calm down.
Oh, he was waiting to see, he wanted to see if God of War would suck a cock. Because basically DeviantArt had led him to believe that's the only thing God of War could
So
do.
he thought he was watching a dirty
Is that how
movie.
you say the name? I've only ever seen it
Yeah, I
written
think
down.
it's God of War, yeah. Or there's going to be like, well, actually, I think you're pronounced as God of War, and I will fucking personally hunt you down and shit in
It's
your
fine
mouth.
if it's not in the first 151 Pokemon, then it's not real to me anyway.
What
so-
about Togepi?
Okay, Togepi's allowed to exist.
What about Mew?
Mew's 151.
No, that's Mewtwo.
And Mewtwo's 150.
What about...
151 isn't in the original 150 though.
Yeah, but Mew was sort of...
Thank you,
the thing is,
Drummer
I
Guy.
said 151.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
I'm consistent with my pedantry.
Okay. But yeah, no, it was a weird movie, but I didn't expect it to be Citizen Kane. I mean, can you imagine if you expected it to be like fucking The Godfather or something?
Yeah, no, it's very...
It's fucking Detective Pikachu.
It's very much a movie for kids, like... So
It definitely is. It's
there's-
got Ryan Reynolds occasionally making the occasional bit more of a joke for the parents and the audience. Bit of a saucy joke.
And it didn't lean too hard on the nostalgia element.
No, it was pretty good with that.
It could have done quite, leaned on that quite hard, but...
It did reference the original like Pokemon movie,
Yeah,
which
it
was
did,
a
yeah.
nice touch because it wasn't in your face. It didn't let it hang in the air. It was very kind of like just mentioned in passing. It was quite cool.
I will say that Pikachu, viewed over the complete movie, is fucking adorable.
Oh my god, it's so adorable.
Although maybe not as adorable as the scene which has a shitload of Bulbasaurs.
That's probably what made that guy leave, because at that point where all the Bulbasaur showed up, I just went, I made like this horribly annoying noise, because I fucking love Bulbasaur. He's awesome.
Good old Bulbasaur.
I was like, I call him Bulbasaur because it's cute, a cuter way of saying Bulbasaur, so shut up. I have a Bulbasaur in Pokemon Go called Hunk,
Good.
and I love him very, very much. But yeah, it's like, I really like the way that they translated all of the way the Pokemon look into something more realistic as well.
Yeah, I've been talking. I've mentioned this to a few people. Like, I think I talked about it in the last podcast as well about how
We were like dragging Sonic.
the world
movie.
feels very alive and it's full of Pokemon and it feels like that's just how it is.
Yeah, it's like no one's like people are just walking through the street and like everyone has a Pokemon. It's kind of like. So, like, yeah, you'll see people just wandering around with, like, a Growlithe, which, by the way, I would kill somebody to get a pet Growlithe. They're amazing.
I did not see a Coughing, though.
I didn't see a Coughing
Which
either.
I'm slightly annoyed about, because Coughing's my favourite Pokemon.
I saw a Cubone. Cubone's in the movie, because
Yeah.
Cubone's my favourite Pokemon.
But there are a couple of things I'd like to mention about it, like, specifically. There was, the whole thing of that they integrated them into the world, but they didn't change the designs much. So they're still the cartoony design, but just with realistic textures.
Yeah. So
Which-
Mr. Mime is even more horrifying.
Yeah, the way I've described it to a few people is that it's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where rather than trying to like make these look realistic per se, it's like, no, this is just how they look in this world, and just really committing to that, so you just kind of buy it.
Yeah, it just works.
Okay.
Because you don't look at Who Framed Roger Rabbit and go, oh, well, that cartoon doesn't mesh with the background,
You
right?
go, no, that's
just how that looks.
That's just how this looks in
and
this world.
I kind of found that while watching. I think just because it commits so much, you're willing to forgive, like the fact that they don't look like real animals because they're Pokemon.
Yeah, they're Pokemon.
But a couple of things I'd like to mention, which is one, without giving spoilers, the bad guy's kind of motivations, because he's not in the movie very much. And then when you kind of find out what's happening,
when you find out their motivations, you're kind of like,
it escalates like 3 stages away from where it should have started really quickly, and you're like, okay, I mean, sure, but like, what?
Yeah, there's a few weird points. I mean, like, there's also a couple of moments where the CGI is not good.
Yeah, there's a couple of bit.
There's a bit in like a forest where like the floor is moving, and it just looks so fucking green screened. It's like, oh, it looks bad.
The other bit is, without giving any spoilers, there is a part involving eyes,
which is horrific.
That is quite near the end of the movie, and it is slightly terrifying.
Not like Dead Space 2 terrifying, just kind of creepy looking eyes.
Cronenbergian horror.
It's not good.
It's really fucking weird. I was surprised that there is like again, without giving spoilers, there is something that feels like just a contrivance of plot all the way through the movie. And then at the very end you realise, oh no, wait, shit, that was a plot point.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, well done, that paid off.
That's some good foreshadowing.
Yeah, a bit of foreshadowing to it, but
I mean, I'd recommend Detective Pikachu because it's just a fun little, I like Pokemon kind of romp, and I'd see it again. Like, it's fine. If someone put it on, I wouldn't like not watch it.
You're not missing the Earth.
No, but
if you don't want to see it, but also it
was enjoyable. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, it's fun enough. Yeah. It is what it is. You know, it's a kids' movie, and so you don't go into it expecting like fucking Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
For a start, this has an ending that more people like. Hey.
Hey. Anyway, that's me done.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to me. It makes me feel nice.
It's okay. We're all friends here.
Good. Well, I hope we're friends. We're fucking married.
Well, yeah. And the three of us.
Are we?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, all of it. Yeah.
And then we're all married to Alphabus, who's our husband.
Okay, yeah.
Collectively.
We're also his parents. It gets weird.
I'm also married to Zoran. Wait, no, I've divorced Zoran twice, I think. I can't keep up. Zoran and I divorce a lot.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's
more
a confusing
times than you've been married.
I think so, yeah. But then again, he divorces everybody, I don't want to say that Zoran's that guy, but he's the divorce guy.
So, moving on, do we have any questions there, Matthew?
We have a few quick questions.
What's the email address, DrummerMatt?
Only DrummerMatt@snipeandweb@gmail.com.
Yay!
That is
wasn't
indeed
me.
That is indeed the email address.
Alright, first up, Barbu Comedy.
Okay.
Greetings from the lowlands of Scotland. I've recently played through the new God of War, and given Snipe's love of Vikings and their mythology, I can thoroughly recommend it.
Is this the new... I'm asking a question. I can't get any new information. I'm wondering if this is the new God of War.
He said they say the new God of War, so I assume they mean the new God of War.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they've been in like a coma for 60 years, DrummerMatt, you insensitive shit. I don't know. I don't want to assume that they aren't Captain America who's now living in Scotland.
Snipe, I'm just going to say that I believe that it is a safe assumption when someone says new God of War that they mean the latest God of War,
it could be new to them,
as opposed to one that came out 10 years ago. I think that is a safe assumption to make going forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad we have some consistency on that.
Yes.
So that was the recommendation. Their question for Snipe
for
you is, where did your love of Vikings come from? Because for them, they did an archaeology dissertation on Viking swords in Scotland and Ireland, and then that got them really into Vikings.
I think it's hard to pinpoint where it started, where the problem started. But, like, I remember being quite young and just thinking kind of, like, Valkyries and, like, the female Norse warriors with all their plaits and, like, hand axes looked really fucking cool. And then kind of just leaning into more, like, consuming more media like that and, like, getting into Space Wolves who are basically like heavy metal Viking album cover, and just kind of just that I can't think of any one point.
You just think they're neat.
Yeah, sorry, that's such a disappointing answer, but I just think they're neat. They're cool.
Yeah, that's fair. Not everything has to have a massive reason. It's just things are cool.
Yeah. This is something I've osmosed over the years. Yeah, that's a word. I know science.
Okay. So that we don't feel left out, Wib. There's a question for us.
When did you realise Snipe was into Vikings?
No. The question for Wib and Drummer, what is your favourite ice cream?
Aww.
Just so we don't feel left out.
It's probably like Ben and Jerry's that has Rolos in it.
Oh, the one that I keep buying for you, Caramel Choo Choo.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's got like little knockoff Rolos in it,
Yeah.
And I buy it for him every time it's on sale.
It's really good.
Oh, Ben and Jerry's has been on sale in our supermarket for like €2.50, which is like £2.20 or something.
Dude, that's amazing.
I know, it's very dangerous.
My favourite, like, Ben and Jerry's is definitely like the chocolate kind, like the double chocolate kind of stuff. Which I'm not usually a huge chocolate person, but I like chocolate ice cream. I like good chocolate ice cream like Ben and Jerry's, and I like the really cheap, like, garbage chocolate ice cream.
Yeah.
Because if it's really chalky and gross,
for the most part, the shitter the chocolate ice cream, the more you like it. So if you can get one that's like, I don't know, like Farm Foods home brand.
Oh yeah, that was the tits though. I did have that occasionally.
Yeah. Like the sort of chocolate...
No, it was like Jack Fulton's home brand.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing that most people would take one taste of and go, yeah, I'm not having any more.
And I'm just like, you can eat that.
Yeah.
But yeah. What's your favourite Drummer Bite?
It's a tricky question because, like, in my head, Ben and Jerry's is so far removed from ice cream. It's not even ice cream anymore. It's just Ben and Jerry's. So I have favourite Ben and Jerry's flavours, but I feel like that doesn't. Probably either.
Can I guess?
Oh, go on.
I'd say one of your favourites is fish food.
No, that was my first, so it has a special place in my heart.
Aww.
But it's not my favourite. No, one of my favourites, the peanut butter cup one, is amazing. And I appreciate neither of you like peanut butter, so neither of you, I'm not saying either of you should have it.
Well, I like peanut butter, I just don't like sugary peanut butter.
Okay, yeah. This is very American sugary peanut butter.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And then my other favourite Ben and Jerry's is half-baked, because it's all of the good things about chocolate fudge brownie, but with the cookie dough pieces from the cookie dough ice cream.
Yeah, that is nice.
Because cookie dough ice cream it's fine, but it's just vanilla ice cream, so it's like it's fine. It's still Ben and Jerry's ice cream, so it's still amazing, but it's nowhere near as interesting. But yeah, half baked has just the best bits from cookie dough put into one of their other ice creams, which is one of their best ice creams. So
their chocolate brownie ice cream is amazing.
Yeah, it's all the best things of that, but also with cookie dough bits in.
Yeah. I'd say
this podcast is brought to you by Ben and Jerry's.
Fucking sponsor us, you cowards! I want the fucking chocolate brownie ice cream. But no, I'm gonna answer and say my favorite Ben and Jerry's is chocolate brownie, but my favorite ice cream is a Billabong. Billabong ice poles are really good. Now they in England are referred to as Zaps.
Oh,
they aren't the
same.
same.
Even count as ice cream?
What?
It's more of an ice lolly, right?
Yeah, a Zap is. I guess
it's a toffee ice cream. It's toffee ice pole.
Yeah, it's kind of it depends on your definition of ice cream.
So
really.
So we're talking about ice cream as like it has to be like fucking soft serve. It can't be like fruit flavored or nothing. It has to be like a fucking cornetto will go home, I guess. I'm sick of this fucking ice cream strawberry.
You know, actually, I think.
You know what? I like sorbet. Fuck the lot of you.
I think that a Zap does exist on the fine line between lolly and ice cream.
Yeah, lollies are not ice cream, but yeah.
Okay,
one of those
so
is
where
like
I come from,
kind of...
lollies are just sweets. And then like billabongs are ice creams or ice poles. You call them ice poles as well. That works. And like, so would a Magnum constitute an ice cream?
Well, yeah, that's ice cream on a stick.
Yes, that's iced cream.
Yeah, it is literally made of ice cream, so there's no debate there.
But like a Mivy or a Solero wouldn't.
No.
Oh.
Well, no, Solero would, because Solero's got ice cream inside it.
Okay, because that's got like a fruit.
Oh yeah, no,
kind
it
of
has,
like...
isn't it? Yeah, no, it has.
But like a Mivy is just a solid like.
Which one's a Mivy?
Those are like. Well, I think
that's a Nottingham thing, isn't it?
I don't know. Maybe.
It's a Mivy.
I don't know. I'm not from Nottingham. But no, it's like. Or like, I guess it's like a Solero is like the solid, just fruit flavored block. They're kind of like the expensive, like fruit equivalent of Magnums, I guess. I think I might be thinking of the name.
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah, no.
But like, so one of those would not be an ice cream.
No.
If it's not made of ice cream, it's not an ice cream.
Yeah,
is my definition.
If it doesn't have dairy,
okay, I'm just going to say we are getting way deeper into this than is necessary.
No, we need to discuss. I just want to have a sensible online debate about ice cream.
You're getting deep enough into this that I was in my head there going, okay, at what point do we cut this off?
Okay. Drama Matt, what's your favourite non-Ben & Jerry's ice cream?
So I interpreted this as ice cream flavour, so I'm going to stick with that, and it's just going to be chocolate. Gotta go for the classic.
Okay.
There's a really nice there's an ice cream place here that does really nice dark chocolate ice cream, which is really amazing.
That'd give me migraines. So
they also do an amazing coffee ice cream, which I appreciate the taste of, but I actually can't eat it because I find coffee too bitter for me. And this coffee ice cream is such a strong coffee flavour. It's like it's too much for me.
Ooh,
so you might like it. Anyway, Barbie Comedy, I hope that question was everything you dreamed of.
Yeah, sorry. Because...
Next up, Isaac. I've been DMing for a few years now, and I can't seem to make my NPCs memorable. What would you recommend to help them stand out more?
A very large and fancy hat.
Okay, don't listen to Wib here. Listen to the two people who have actually DM'd a campaign. No offence, honey.
I'm taking a lot of offence.
You're not. Drama Matt, what would you say?
Well, I mean, the various people and characters that you remember from my campaign are all ones that basically you created. Because I had this person here, and then you just started, like...
Inferring
things, which then I just made canon. So... So having players who are very creative is I appreciate that's not really something you can change or do anything about.
Okay, I love this. Like, I've been DMing for a few years. Can you give me tips on creating NPCs? Get better players.
That is not what I said. Being more creative does not mean better in any possible way.
Oh, well, fuck you, Drama. I thought I meant something.
No, it's different and it's good and I appreciate it. But there's no good way of playing.
Oh, wow. Well, especially with my character, Nathan, there's no good way of playing.
I was thinking about this earlier since I saw the email earlier, and I'm not sure of a good answer, to be honest. What are your thoughts, Snipe?
I come at it more from like a story writing perspective, which makes me sound like such an insufferable prick. So please don't think that of me, because it will hurt my feelings. But I guess just... like, you got to think what kind of characters you find interesting, and just hope that the characters, like the people you're playing with, take the bait. Or like, you know, I get like there's a lot of writing tools out there that are really helpful. So like that you can get random trait generators, which can really help spice up characters, because it's very easy to pick good, like, positive traits with a character. But that's not what's super memorable a lot of the time. So picking negative traits can kind of be helpful as well. I'm not saying make every tavern keep like a kleptomaniac, like bitter old person, but like, you know, it's like just that's it. It's just kind of like, it's just, for me anyway, it's just kind of giving them interesting traits and just trying to see how that works. And again, like, sometimes you can make the most interesting character in the world, but your players just won't take the bait.
I guess the other thing you could do is to put this, basically to kind of reiterate what Matt was saying, but in a less judgmental way.
Piss off.
But if you...
The shade...
is when your players encounter characters and you start to notice them gaining a bit of a headcanon as to what they're doing.
Oh yeah, satisfy the headcanons.
Don't be afraid to lean into it a bit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we basically, because Drama Matt can't read his own writing because he's basically a doctor and he can't read any writing. Sorry, Drama Matt.
Yeah, fair.
We had like the owner of the tavern that we're always hanging out in. You wrote down a name for this halfling guy, and when we went back, like, we hadn't been there very long, and Drama Matt checked his notes, and he just said, you know, I'm going to be honest, I can't read my own writing, and it just looks like the word blurms. And that was hilarious to us. So we were like, oh yeah, it's this guy, Steve. Hello, Steve Blurms. And that's just the Halfling Tavern Keeper's now Steve Blurms canonically. And puts up with all of our shit because we basically pay for him to send his children to university.
Basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like I think there's that's a really good point of lean into headcanons. Because, like...
Failing that, make the character a large woman who can punch you through a wall, and you'll be amazed how many players get on well with that.
Oh, everyone loves the big tough lady. Oh, everyone loves the big tough lady. Everyone loves the big tough lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember Johnny went on a date with the big tough lady. After she fucking, like, destroyed him at arm wrestling. I headcanon that as Johnny was so... taken with her that he couldn't concentrate properly. That and she was like way stronger than he was anyway.
She was a Goliath.
Yeah. You came up to like her knees and you were like, do you want to go for a drink sometime? She was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you went on a date.
And then I whiffed my rolls so badly.
That was like the second date, like game date we had. Because it's like Talus went on a date with a strong muscly lady. From the docks.
Yeah. And that didn't go well either.
No, but the good thing is, like, you all parted as, like, quite amicable friends. Like, the romantic spark wasn't there, but you're still, like, super good friends. So
yeah.
It's nice. So, yeah, I hope, like, you've managed to glean any helpful information from that.
Oh, I did actually have one more suggestion, which I thought while you were talking. It's... Make your characters... quite well rounded in the sense that they're not, if they're working a shop, that isn't all they do. Like why are they just I think what I was trying to do is give each character a bit of a motivation. Like, okay, why are they a shop worker? Like, it doesn't have to be paid. Like, you know, it can be a line, they're just providing enough money to pay for food for their family, or you know, something.
Or it could be like they inherited it from their father.
Yeah,
like,
but just giving each NPC a motivation for why they're doing what they're doing, even if it's only very basic, can spark some interesting. When you're starting to talk from the NPC to the characters and having chats then, rather than it just being a straight up, oh, that'll cost this much or whatever. Some of that motivation might then bleed through and start interesting conversations.
I guess because then, you know, each character starts to gain their own individual voice at that point. So
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, good question, that.
Yeah, good. Last up, James. They remember that you mentioned an Imperial Knight in previous podcasts. And thought they'd share their knight army that they've got. So I'll send you through a picture. They're pretty impressive pictures.
Cool. Alright, so what I could say for this army, James, is that it's fucking awesome. This is beautiful.
There's a lot of knights.
There's a lot of very well painted knights. And again, loving the renegade knight in the background. This is kind of like peeking out from behind like terrain, being like, hello,
looming.
Can I be in the picture too? And they're like, no, Jeff, you can fuck off, mate. And he's like, oh no. Renegade Jeff.
Well, funny you should say that. So, they as well as wanting to show you guys, they've also asked if you have time, they would like you to think of a name for their beloved army, since they're really bad at coming up with names. So you haven't come up with a name for an army, unless you want to call the whole army Renegade Jeff, which probably won't work.
I want to call them Licorice Whip.
Maybe not. I'm afraid
How about Mint Chocolate Chip?
I think they probably want a canon-friendly name.
I'm going to call them the Mean Green Machines. Because they're green and gold.
Okay.
And I'm also going to call them the Good Boys.
The Good Boys.
The Good Boys. This was a bad thing to do, James.
Honestly, that's one of those things where, like, unless you know what sort of thing someone's going for, like, canon, it can be quite difficult to come up with a name.
Hence why I think they're called the Good Boys, because they're adorable.
Yeah, until then you can call them the Good Boys. That's canon now.
The Good Boys and Naughty Jim.
The Good Boys and Renegade Jeff.
The Good Boys and Renegade Jeff. I like it.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you are legally obligated to call your army that. You'll be hearing from our lawyer in 30 days, as of this post day. But yeah.
Yeah.
Good, that is all the questions.
Okay,
Okie
cool.
dokie.
We've completed our contractual arrangement.
Yeah.
Okay, cool then. So I guess that means that is the end of this podcast.
Yeah, I'd say for next time, send me in cute pictures of McCree from Overwatch, because that's just the wallpaper I'm looking at, and I'm like, yeah, if you'll want to send me your favourite picture of McCree, that's cool.
I also would ask that you don't do that, because pictures don't play well for a listening audience.
Okay, describe what you like about McCree specifically, and send it to me so I can confirm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little better. I'm not sure how... I mean, I would say that wouldn't really be good podcast content, but we did have a minor argument about what constitutes an ice cream earlier. So what the fuck do we know about?
Hoisted by your own petards, sir.
Yeah, so I guess I'm hopeful for a better quality of content, even though I know that often we don't necessarily provide.
I mean, I do feel I'm dragging both of you down.
I don't know. I think
which is like that's a net neutral thing to say.
I mean, the ice cream thing. I mean, it was you that was dragging us in that direction, but we were both willing participants, so I don't think anyone can really claim the high ground.
Participants, Stockholm syndrome, like, you know, victims.
I think we just accepted that, you know, this is the sort of podcast where we go into it with a plan and, you know, end up having...
1 minute we're talking about the horrors of late-stage capitalism, and the next minute we're arguing incessantly about what constitutes a quote-unquote ice cream.
Yeah, although, again...
If it's made of ice cream, it's an ice cream. There's nothing more to it.
Okay, if it is cold and you put it in your mouth... But I'm literally getting into the "behold a man" territory, so I'm going to stop.
I think there's probably a thing to be said that there is an official line, which is that it's an ice cream if it contains ice cream. But colloquially, if you say, "Oh, I'm going to go get some ice creams. What do you want?" and people would say, "Oh, I'd want like an ice lolly or what."
Yeah, but like slushes are like outside of that, because that's their own categorization.
Those would have to be their own.
We can all agree on that.
Yeah, we can all agree that an ice blast or a slush puppy, that is
okay. Now
that is its own thing.
You can't classify an ice blast as a slush puppy, because an ice blast is literally what every slush puppy should be.
Okay, I wasn't saying they were the same thing.
Good.
I was saying they were two things that belong in the same category.
Okay.
In the same way that tea and Coke belong in the same category of drinks, despite being radically different.
Okay. You know what? You get off this time.
I didn't think I'd have to be that specific.
Well, there you go. I'm full of surprises. Thank you very much for joining us. Please leave in the comments where your favourite ska band from Derby. Please leave. And also, have a good day. And I hope you enjoy some actual ice cream. And please don't, get angry and unsubscribe because we're, engaging in the hot debate of what constitutes an ice cream.
Snipe, stop talking now.
Okay.
And say goodbye.
Thank you very much. Goodbye and go away.
Goodbye and go away.
Bye. I ain't telling anyone to go away.